This time I'm marooned. I'm dropped into the deserts of Namibia.
The sun is unrelenting.
After learning from the San Bushmen how to use the resources around me, I create my own traditional weapons.
Look at that.
With no tools at all.
That flies like a gem.
But hunting with a handmade bow is quite a learning curve.
Just missed. Just missed.
My goal? To live self-sufficiently off the land like the San have done for thousands of years.
Look at that beautiful chunk of liver.
I'm Ed Stafford. For years, I've honed my survival skills in every corner of the planet. Now, I'm going back to my roots and putting my solo survival skills to the test. This season, I'm seeing if I can stay afloat in environments where water is both the key to survival and the greatest danger. I'll be left completely alone for 10 days with nothing. No film crew, no food, no water, no tools, and just the bare minimum of clothes. This time, it's about more than just survival. I want to see if I can thrive. Anywhere. I'm flying into the Namibian wilderness in southern Africa. This corner of the world is sparsely populated because it's one of the hottest, driest places on Earth.
I'm getting close now. I can feel the adrenaline starting to flow through my veins. I can see the runway ahead. It's just a tiny little dirt track. How's it going? Yeah, good.
Good.
The mountains around me rise to over 2,500 meters, and the vast plains between the rocks are home to all kinds of dangerous game and reptiles. But people have lived here for over 20,000 years. Now, it's my turn to try surviving in one of the most challenging environments I've ever tackled, and see if I can follow in their footsteps.
Thanks, mate. Okay, that is the last I'm going to see of anyone for quite some time. Okay, inside my bag is camera kit, since I'm filming everything myself. Camera batteries and head mount. 2 cameras, one that's been filmed on. This is the second one.
I've got a sat phone and a first aid kit in case there's a major disaster.
And I've also got a drone.
I can set the drone to track me automatically when I'm on the move. And I can also use it as an eye in the sky to scout for resources, dangerous animals, and right now, a place for me to get out of the sun. I think my best option is to move fast over the rocky outcrop a couple of kilometers to the south.
All right, let's do it. What I don't have, as ever, I don't have any water, I don't have any food, I don't have a tarpaulin, I don't have a knife, I don't have any shoes, which is actually going to be quite a handicap for me.
Because Namibia is full of snakes. There are more venomous ones here than I can count. All I need to do is step over the wrong log or onto the wrong patch of sand, and that's the end of Ed. But I can't just be looking down all the time, because there are bigger threats out there.
Wow. A massive antelope there. That scared me, because I'm in rhino country, and it was big, and it just shows, doesn't it? There's the alarm bell, there's the warning. Don't just walk bold as brass into a clearing in this scrub. You've got to stop and creep in almost, and you've got to be so aware of your exit route at any one point. I'm thinking, If I can get up there into the shade, rhinos can't get up there either. So not only will it get me away from the sun, which is my biggest risk in terms of heat exhaustion, but it'll also take me out of the rhino zone, the kill zone.
Black rhinos weigh as much as a truck, and when they charge, they move at nearly 30 miles an hour. My only chance at survival would be making it up onto the high rocks. No shoes means slow progress, and the unrelenting heat makes it doubly brutal.
My body is getting burnt. I need to find water. Water is going to be so vital. It's the overriding survival priority. If I don't find water, I'm not going to thrive here. I'm not even going to last 3 days. Starting to edge a little bit closer to the rocks. You can see they're up there.
My muscles are cramping, and I feel like throwing up, even though I haven't eaten since yesterday. I have to get out of the sun before I succumb to the heat. If I were to get heat exhaustion out here, it would need an immediate evacuation.
This will do. That was a beast. That was a proper beast. Gotta be honest, I'm shattered. And that's only half a day of walking through the midday heat. My strategy is gonna have to evolve around the sun and evolve around the hottest parts of the day. I can be more active at the beginning of the day and the ends of the day so that I can save my feet and I can save my skin and I can dehydrate less. Okay, the back of the cave is there. Animals clearly using this cave.
There's definitely some big predators here. This looks like a cheetah kill.
And these bones could potentially be used for all sorts of things. The hide is all crumpled up, but it's not usable as... Ha! Shoes! That's what I'm thinking, shoes! Right, you can see how it's hard because it's dry. But if I want to flatten it out, I haven't got any water, that's the problem. I could wee on it. Yes, simple. Right. I think I've got a wee of meat. When it's wet, it'll be softer. Put it out in the sun, flat, and then potentially that can make the soles of a pair of shoes. And then I'm going to be much more mobile and much more able to do everything else.
Before I was dropped into the Orongo, I spent several days with a Namibian sand bushman, whose ancestors have thrived here for generations. They shared some of their local survival knowledge with me, and it's already beginning to pay off.
There's a kind of gnarly looking, almost like a root. It looks like a water root. I want to dig carefully just around the edges. I don't want to damage it. It is. That's water. That is a drink. Yes. I cannot express quite what that means. At the end of a long, very, very dry, hot day.
Even in the dry bush, there are water-storing plants that the sand bushmen have used for thousands of years.
You might do this with moss, I guess, at home. That's water. That is a drink.
Refreshed, it's time for me to get to work making my shoes.
Ancient tribes, civilizations would have used basalt as a cutting tool. And this stuff could make me a crude knife.
Yes. Okay, so immediately there you can see that the little bit that's come off is called a flake. And that has a sharp edge.
The toughest part of a hide, the thickest part, is the neck and then down the spine. So that's what I'm going to make the soles of the shoe, and I'm literally going to draw around with the felt tip marker that I've obviously not got. I'm going to mark around my foot. For the sake of the shoes, it's great that this material is so hard because it's going to protect my feet, but to actually cut with these little shards of basalt, that's gonna take some work. Okay, right, we just need to open that up. That should start getting a lot faster now. Slit to open up. You can see how I've cut the heel out. No. I don't really want to admit this, but when I cut the second one out, I put the same foot down and I drew around the same foot, which means I've just made two right feet. So that one might need to be worn with the skin on the outside, and then we've got a left and a right. Sometimes I do worry about myself. Crikey, all of that time, and I cut around the same foot twice. Doesn't matter. I'm tired now. I'm properly tired. I have 2 soles with straps on, which is, I guess, a win. And a win on day 1 is a good thing.
Morning. Sun hasn't come up yet, but starting to get light. It's peaceful, just little bursts of antelope, small antelope scat, which is good. All just indicators that there has to be water around, otherwise these animals wouldn't be here.
Feels like there's more bird activity as well. I know that might be me making it up, but we're in the right path. Quite literally.
I'm seeing all kinds of signs of animals. They have to be getting water from somewhere nearby.
Very distinct black and white staining down here from these tiny little cracks. I think that's hyrax. Hyrax are a sort of rabbit-sized mammal that lives in the rocks around here. And the staining is years and years of excrement and urine. Okay, we've got potential food on the menu. There's trails everywhere. Right, there's a trail coming in here. There's a trail there. There's a trail there. If there isn't water in this vicinity, I'm a monkey's uncle. Whatever that expression means. Loads of bird activity, loads of insect activity. 2 pigeons. Not sure they're pigeons. They look like pigeons to me. I'm English. Whoa, 2 more birds. 3 more birds. All flew out of that little hole. Look at that.
Look at that, it's majestic.
That is water. Right, it's the birds that got me here. Thank you, birds.
I can't purify this water, but I'm so dehydrated that I'm going to have to risk drinking from this pool, even though there may be larvae or bacteria in it.
changes everything, doesn't it? It literally changes everything. That now means that I can create a life for myself. That now means that there is the possibility of thriving. As long as I don't get some kind of waterborne illness from drinking from that pool. If I can head up into the hills here, find myself a proper cave, it's the start of everything coming together. I found water! This is now undeniably my lifeline. Water is everything. The sun has just started to come out now and I can feel the heat immediately. Now I found water, I feel like I need to find a proper base, somewhere where I can really work out of and somewhere that's also a lot closer to that water.
This area is less than a kilometre away from the waterhole, and the high rocks on all sides should make it hard for the black rhinos to get in.
There's a little sort of almost enclosed area of bush down below, and you can see there's quite a big cave to the right, and I can see another one off to the left as well. Feels like home.
This cave seems perfect. It must have been used by the San Bushmen when they inhabited the area. They are thought to be one of the oldest cultures on Earth.
Little shards of rock that have been used for cutting. And look, that is pottery, isn't it? There seems to be a man here, that's his head, his legs. Whole new level of respect I've now got for this cave, okay. This is home, full stop. If it was good enough for ancient civilizations who did cave paintings, then it's good enough for Ed Stafford. Okay, time to process these into fire sticks. Not looking bad, is it? Hiya! Doesn't matter how many times in your life you've lit a fire. It just makes me grin. It really does.